To address some of the lapses observed during the last general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission on Friday met with coalition and returning officers for the 2023 polls. Arise correspondent Chinaza Samuel reports that the commission plans to review its result management system following complaints by many Nigerians.
This meeting is the fourth in a series of post-election reviews that the electoral body Inec is holding with those who played key roles in the conduct of the polls. It comes just 2 days after the commission met with transport service providers and other electoral officers. This time, it's meeting with another set of election officials, those involved in election results management. Present here is the chairman of the commission, national commissioners, university professors and vice-chancellors, most of whom made up the 37-state coalition and returning officers during the polls. The main objective is to address the issues raised by many Nigerians on election results management.
The Commission is aware that as coalition and returning officers, you worked under extremely challenging circumstances. The Commission appreciates your commitment, dedication to duty and sacrifice to the cause of our democracy. At the same time, issues have arisen, and some Nigerians have raised concerns about result management at various levels.
Although some of the issues are subject of litigations, the electoral body says it's hoping to learn lessons that will improve future collation and declaration of results.
It is therefore the Commission's expectation that at this meeting, we will identify areas of strength and weaknesses, as well as the necessary reforms that we need to introduce going forward.
While the electoral body continues its post-election reviews, Nigerians are simply looking forward to a better electoral process in future elections. Chinaza Samuel, Arise News.
Right, for more on this, we're now joined by Inec National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
You've had so much on your plate.
Welcome.
You have.
Now,
let's talk about your meetings. It's the fourth in a series of meetings with stakeholders in the course of the elections. I'm particular about this particular meeting you had today with, coalition and returning officers in the 2023 elections. What exactly have you been finding out in the course of that meeting with them today? And what are the areas that, jumped out at you that really do need addressing before the November elections, the off-season elections?
Well, the Commission is preparing for 2 sets of elections as of today. One, we have 4 vacancies where we are going to conduct by-election. One is Surulere State Federal Constituency, Surulere 1 Federal Constituency in Lagos. The vacancy arose as a result of the appointment of the former Speaker of the House of Representatives as Chief of Staff to the President. The second one arose in Jalingo Yero Zing Federal Constituency as a result of death. And then we have another one in Chukun State Constituency and one in Chibok State Constituency. So we are going to conduct by-election in these places any moment from now. And then we also have the off-cycle governorship election in Imo, Bayelsa, and the Kogi states. So we are preparing for these elections. But we needed to have a grip. We needed to have a clear understanding of some of the issues and challenges that arose from the conduct of the 2023 general election, especially in the area of result management and collation. So we invited the 37 state collation officers for the presidential election, and also a cross-section of senatorial collation and returning officers for us to look at the strengths, our strengths arising from the election, and also some of the challenges they faced. And the discussion was rigorous, the discussion was robust, and they offered their own perspective, their findings, and also made some recommendations on how we can improve in future elections.
What are some of those? I mean, that's my question,
yes.
really. Yeah, we want to know exactly where those challenges were and, the recommendations, like you said.
The chairman of the commission listed out 8 areas that we needed to discuss. For instance, one of those areas relates to the issue of training of collation officers. Most of these collation officers are vice chancellors of various universities. But we identified the fact that despite the fact that they are vice chancellors, they still need extended training using e-platforms and other platforms for their training. The second challenge that was identified relates to the issues around the collation centers. Most of them felt that the security situation at the collation centers was not adequate, and that we had a tendency where so many party agents, both accredited and those who are not accredited, invaded the collation centers, making things difficult and life difficult for them. They also identified the whole issue about their own security, in terms of the fact that even after during the collation exercise and thereafter, they were receiving threat messages and so on. So we are looking for a situation where there should be better coordination and better improvement in terms of protecting them during the election. They also raised issues around the security of the collation center itself and the type of lightning system we should have at the collation centers. And they also advised the commission to also look at trying to test run much more robustly some of the technological innovations that the commission has introduced ahead of the election. And so there were very serious suggestions that were made, and we are going to collate all these things and then look at the actionable ones. Those that need constitutional and that need constitutional reforms in terms of constitutional amendment, we are going to pursue it. Those ones that are administrative in nature, the commission will also look at them and then make sure that we cascade them to the various levels.
Okay, I'll come back to the issue of security, but let me quickly follow up on test running the innovations and the new technologies that were deployed. Yes. I personally followed the Inec chairman around the FCT when some of these technologies were being test run. Yes. And he okayed them. I was there in his presence, and he said, okay, they were good to go. Right. So at what point did the commission get it wrong?
Well, their commission did not get it wrong. Okay. I'm just going to be slightly circumspect because I'm a lawyer and I don't want to dive into a matter that is sub judice, that is already pending in court. Okay. But if you look at what has happened during the election, you'll find out that, for instance, the beavers, for purposes of accreditation, performed exceedingly well. And very few people complain about the beavers not performing well. In terms of even facial capture, the beavers performed well. So we are happy with the performance of the beavers. In terms of using the beavers also for purposes of registration of voters, it performed very well because we call it IVEG when we are registering voters. In terms of even result upload, the beavers performed very well in terms of result upload.
Nigerians are more concerned about the IREV that did not perform.
No. The IREV performed. The only issue is that in terms of uploading of the senatorial election result, in terms of uploading the presidential federal House of Representatives election results, in terms of uploading the governorship election result and state assembly election results, there are no complaints. The complaint relates only in terms of the uploading of the presidential election result. All elections are important. All elections are important.
Yeah,
so these are some of the issues we are going to look at, review, and make sure that going forward, that Nigerians get value for money.
Dr. Okoye, speak to us about the security situation from your review. The security situation during the elections, voter suppression, voter intimidation. These were some of the allegations against your commission. Speak to us about your findings.
Well, the conduct of election is a multi-stakeholder venture.
Right.
It involves the electoral management body. It involves the security agencies, it involves the media, it involves the political parties, it involves civil society groups and organizations. It is when all these organs, agencies, and commissions work together that you have some level of synergy and you deliver a very good election. The commission went into the 2023 general election in a very challenging circumstance.
But you had so long a time to prepare.
That's the point I'm making.
Good.
The commission does not control the issue of security in the country.
Right.
So if the security situation is such that we cannot even deploy, we can't deploy. And you agree with me that in so many parts of the country, the security situation was very, very tense. And I think that the commission should really be commended for deploying to even very tense security challenge places. Mind you, some of these people we are deploying are sons and daughters of people. And in some areas, in some places, some parents withdrew their sons and daughters from serving as ad hoc staff of the commission.
But how much of stakeholder engagement did you have before the elections with the police, with the NSCDC, with the core members? Yeah. And all, how much of stakeholder engagement did you have?
We engaged. We engaged, but you know, election is a very competitive thing. And we engage the political parties, we engage civil society groups and organizations.
Because if you're saying that you need that much synergy to achieve success,
yes,
outstanding success,
yes,
then one would think that with all the stakeholder engagements, the skirmishes should have been brought to the barest minimum.
No, some of these skirmishes, some of these challenges were there even before the election. For instance, if you look at the security challenges in the northeast of the country, the security situation in the southeast of the country, and also the security situation even in the north central and the northwest of the country, they were already there. The security agencies were already handling some of these issues, but we had to conduct election in some of these places. And I want to tell you that despite the huge security challenges we face, despite the challenges in terms of deployment, despite the challenges in terms of getting the sons and daughters of individuals who were doing their national youth service to go and serve in very challenging circumstances, I think that if you look at it holistically, you will see that the commission did very well with the 2020
But I doubt
election.
very much if Nigerians believe, I mean, looking back with the benefit of hindsight, that security was a major challenge during the elections. Where the problem is remains the deployment of technology, the will, or the lack of it to actually deploy technology as Inec had promised Nigerians. But I guess we're being played out. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Festus Okoye, Inec spokesman, chairman, information and voter education.
Thank you for
committee.
coming.
Thank you so much.